Hi everyone, it's Maureen. I'm back again. My fever is gone. Thanks for that. I'm not all quite well, but well enough, and of course, well enough to do some nice things here in my creative studio. And I really wanted to do some fabric making with stamps. A while ago, I think I showed you this, I did on Instagram. I made this fabric with some of my favorite stamps, and it's stamped on this unbleached cotton fabric, and I did that with this ink, and this holds really well onto this cotton fabric, and I really wanted to do some more of this, and I want to use the same stamp, this handwriting stamp, because it's, look at it, it's just too gorgeous. It's one of my all-time favorites. And there's some other stamps that I want to use. I think I might also use that fountain pen top one, which I have right here. This is the one. I got that from Cafe Analog. I will link below. And this is really a super beautiful stamp. It has such rich detail, so that's one of my favorites too. I have my ink, I have my fabric. I put some plastic tablecloth underneath, because it's not that thick, this fabric. You can actually see through. If you look closely, you can see the flowers here shining through. So if you do this on your desk or on your table or wherever you craft, and you wouldn't protect the tabletop, you will ink your table. So just a heads up in case you want to do what I do. So I have a large piece of cotton here. I'm planning to do large blocks of stamping, and then afterwards I will tear the fabric and end up with these smaller strips. So let's start. I don't know, maybe you want to follow along. It would be nice. Can be fun. Maybe you have beautiful stamps yourself. Maybe you have some of these larger ones, or you have a ton of these, like this one. See, that's a very pretty one as well. So, let's see how this goes. I have this large acrylic block for my stamp. It's a clear stamp, and it actually doesn't really fit, but that's okay. I am planning on buying a bigger one, actually, so I can fit the whole stamp onto it. But for now, this is okay. Oh, let me, just a second. I have over here, as you can see, can't see, of course. Here I am. I'm back. I have these smaller ones. It occurred to me suddenly that I can make it fit like that. Oh gosh, see? Silly me, smashing my hand onto the stamp when I already inked it. Oh boy. Oh well. When you're stamping, you're gonna get your hands dirty, right? So, stamp, inked, no messy. Yes. There's something that I can't stand. I know it's a thing. I hate it when there's ink in the places of the stamp where the pattern isn't. Does that make sense to you? Like here, I don't want my ink to get there, so I always wipe that off. Maybe you do that too. I hope so. I sometimes, oops, feel a bit weird. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it like this. So I'm gonna place it here, gently put it down, and then I can put those here, and voila, there we go. I'm actually standing up now, so I can really press it down. Just gives a better result, but you know that. You are a seasoned stamper. A stamper? Oh my god, is that even a word? I don't know. A stamp user. Oh. Well, and how are you? Have you experienced some nasty cold or flu or whatever? I guess in those parts of the world, like where I am, where it's winter time, and not yet spring, not really spring yet, you get that period where, you know, people get flu or cold. I really was hoping I didn't get it this time, but I wasn't that lucky, unfortunately. I hope you are. And if you're not, I hope you will feel better soon. See, there is stamp number 2. Let me press that down. Maybe I will speed this up for the sake of time, you know. You don't have to see me do this and wait for ages. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. You can speed it up if you want to. Or, you know, if you're following along, you are doing this too. So you also have your time and we can chat. So I will talk right now. And I would love to hear from you in the comments what you think of this, and if you have done this before yourself, and if you like it or not. I do. I like to use these fabrics in my journals. I always think it's very nice to have fabric just as embellishments, or I actually use it as closure a lot of times. Oh, that was the wrong half. My spatial awareness is not always that good. You know, you have to think in mirror. Reverse. Spiegelbeeld, we call that in Holland. I don't have Google Translate at the ready, so, but you know what I mean, right? And that is something, sometimes my brain just won't work with me. See, and that is why I keep this on my work top, so I don't mess that one up. And this one's fine, I can even wipe it away, you know. So look. Oh, let me zoom in. Ta-da! There, see? It's actually real fine printed, but I assure you it is lovely. Well, if you like this style, that is. But I'm just assuming that you like it. So, now let me put this away. I will wipe it off. Yes, I can hear you yelling at me. Wipe it off. I will when I'm done. So, now I will. Yes. See here, I alternated between the handwriting stamp and the fountain pen stamp. Here I try to make it one strip, but it occurred to me that I can still do a stamp in between. So I cover some of these seams. They're not really visible, but I think it adds something to the whole of this thing. Yeah, I like that. So next I'm gonna use this one. Oh, keep in frame. There you go. This is a clear stamp that I've had for quite some time now. I really like it. It is a handwriting, and I'm thinking that it is from a really old document, because it looks like it's from, you know, one of these really old scripts. And what I like, but that's just me, I like that you can't really read it, because sometimes I have a stamp and there are words on it, and when I don't like the words, I don't like to use the stamp. It's silly, I know, but that's how my brain works. And I like that I can't read this, but it is handwriting, which I adore. Let me see, shall I? No, I'm going to leave. Oh, what to do? I'm gonna leave a little gap. Like this. Well, oh, yes, I'm still in frame. Oh, thank goodness. I have my new camera set up, and I really like it. But it's still a little bit tricky to figure out where I must place my things so you can see it. But you can. Shall I zoom in just a little bit for this next one? Let me see. Yeah, like this. So what I will do is I'm gonna leave a little bit of a gap here, just like I did on the fabric I showed you before, so I can fill that up with another stamp, because this one has a real clear edge, a border, and I like the result just a bit better if I don't just, you know, put them together, but fill it up with something else. Oh, let me see. You see? So now what we do, this time I will use that flower one, and I will just fill that up with the flower. And I have another one, this one. Would that go? Yes, I think it will. Yes, see? Like that. And now it almost seems as if it just was meant to be like this, you see? So now it's not a clear, you know, a real border. It's just, it flows from one to the other, just like here in this stamp where you have different sections. I'm gonna zoom out. See? So, right. Okay. And we go. I didn't iron this fabric, as you can see, and I did that on purpose. Why? Well, I'm going to tear it. So even if I would iron it, it would wrinkle again. And I will use it in a junk journal. So I thought it would be fitting if it is not, you know, all pristine and beautiful. And I can always iron it later if it's too ugly. But what I will do when I tear it, I will roll it up like this onto this things, and then it will straighten out even a bit more. And you know, if I use it in my journal, it will wrinkle again, or if I use it as a closure, it will wrinkle for sure because I'm going to tie a knot into it. So I thought I'd best save the time, not iron it yet, and see if I need to do that later on. It actually turned out pretty well, don't you think? So, more of these lovely flowers. I used to do a lot of scrapbooking, digital scrapbooking that is, and I was part of a lovely community which is not around anymore. They closed the site down. The digital scrapbook place, DSP, that was the one. I had a really good time doing that. It was 8 or 9 years ago already. I was going through a hard time in my life. My relationship had just come to pieces, and I needed something to, well, it sounds a bit weird, but I needed something to occupy myself, and I had to do something creative to keep my mind from the troubles and the sadness I was feeling. And during the time I was doing the scrapbooking, the digital scrapbooking, I learned a lot about design. I had learned some things in school, you know, from art classes, but the lovely ladies at the DSP, they learned me some more. And one of the things that they instilled on us digital scrapbookers is to always use the rule of threes or thirds. And that's why I'm talking about that right now, because as you can see, I always do 1, 2, 3, or 2. I mean 3 and 2, so that's 5. You always use uneven numbers of the things that you print, because that is pleasing to the eye. Those are really old rules of art. So just a little bit of information for you, but that's why I was doing 1, 2, 3 and then 2 in the middle. Weird, huh? Some things, they just stick with you, and this is one of them. So I'm going to pause the video here because I'm going to leave this and let it dry just a little bit, because it does dry fairly quickly, but I want to make sure it's really dried, and then I'm going to come back to you later and do another strip of this, and then we'll do the tearing together. Okay? Bye bye. Hi you all. I'm back, and well, as you can probably tell by the lighting, it's evening. I was going to stop for a little while, but then, you know, time took over and it turned out to be a little bit more. That doesn't matter. I am going to go along. Continue, that was the word, with my project, and I wanted to use these floral stamps in this space here, and I'm going to continue to use that brown, it's actually rich cocoa, well, chocolate. I'm gonna call it chocolate. So here we go. Flowers. I like flowers. I use floral washi, stickers, images from old books. I just love to do floral things. What about you? And I also am a photographer. And whenever I go out with my camera, I just especially love to capture flowers. Especially in springtime and early summer. You know, when everything just blooms and looks gorgeous. I can, you know, go out to like an old castle or a botanical garden, and I can easily come home with like 300 pictures on my camera, because I tend to really, you know, go wild when I'm shooting. I do, you know, from this side, from that side, close up, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm a floral kind of girl. I've put some white paper underneath because this is really interfering with the motif, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to show you what this currently looks like. And I kind of like that there's a bit of, you know, space in between, so I'm going to leave it like that. And I think I have enough now to do a bit of tearing. Now I can show you how I'm gonna do that, and I'm going to measure because I really like this size, the width of this. So where is my scissors? Where are my scissors? You know, in Dutch, scissors is a singular word, so that's why I did that wrong. Let me see. Like this. You take your fabric. Let me show you. You take your fabric, give it just a little bit of a cut. Let me zoom in. There you go. See? You cut. You give it a bit of a cut, and then all you have to do is start ripping. And because of the way this is woven, you are bound to get a straight line every time. And there you go. We have a lovely piece of fabric with the beautiful stamp on it. And well, that's what I'm going to do with this piece. I'm going to do some smaller, some a little bit wider. You see, you just take it, let me go wide. So you can see you have a little cut. You take your fabric, make sure you have a good grip, firm grip, and just tear. Don't be afraid, it won't break the wrong way. And now you have your fabric, and yes, you will have these strings that will come loose, and you just take them off. And if you are not a fan of these frayed edges, come on camera, you see, because these edges are frayed and they will unravel. It doesn't really matter, you know, if you use it as a closure or just, you know, on the edges of your journal. But if you don't like that, you can, of course, take it and run it under your sewing machine, so you stop the fraying from getting worse. But I don't. I like it this way. So, but that's your choice. You can do either way. I guess you probably could even have a larger piece like this, and then because this can be tricky to sew, you could of course take this under the sewing machine, sew a straight line, and then rip the fabric. Next to your sewn edge. That I think that can work. I think it can work. You give it a try and you let me know. I'm going to make another cut, and And there we go, 1, 2. I actually like this sound of tearing fabric. I don't know why. It has a special sound. Come to think of it, I think it has something to do with my childhood, when my grandma used to sew a lot. My mother too, but my grandma, I saw her do that, and I was always sort of amazed of it, and I was sort of, I did often wonder, you know, why she didn't break the fabric, why you could just rip it and not have it, you know, completely destroyed. But it doesn't. Well, maybe not all kinds of fabric will do this. You can do this with cotton fabric or linen, but if it's too thick, then it won't tear. Well, you don't have enough strength to do it. And I don't think you can tear wool. I wouldn't try. So now here there's a little strip of blank, but you know, that's okay. That's okay. My kind of journaling, junk journaling, is all about, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's a good thing. I can be perfectionistic, which is good, you know. Sometimes you have to go for perfect, but not always. And for me, this is the right kind of hobby. Just to sometimes, you know, let go of that feeling of having to be exact and, you know, precise and all of that. What do you say if we leave this strip this wide? I think that might be a brilliant idea. So, here we go. Oh, look at this beautiful heap of loveliness. This makes me happy, you know. It's real happiness going on here. Let me see. Let me divide this up into two. That is what I mean. There we go. And then what we have left is that strip of floral. I think that's actually kind of pretty. It has just the remainders of that strip on the other side. Oh, this is good. Yay! So there we have it. A wonderful pile of loveliness. And I will use these in my upcoming projects, and I will also put some up for sale in my Etsy shop. I will link below to my Etsy. Don't go there immediately, because give me some time to set it up, maybe next week, and I will make a video of that, and I will of course tell you about it on my Instagram, which is Maureen Astrid. The link is below as well. And if you want to know about this and my Etsy, it's probably best if you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, so you won't miss anything on my channel. So I'll let you go now. This has been, you know, quite some time, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly did. And I hope to see you soon next time. Okay, bye bye.